Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small.
Whoo! Do you have what you need for today's unconventional Canva tutorial? Water? Check. Notes? Check, check. Tissues? A side of compassion? If you resonate with what I have to say during today's Canva tutorial, hold on, let me get me up here. All right, here we go. Let's try this again. If you resonate with what I have to say, let me know, because I know that I can't be the only one that feels this way occasionally. What do you do when you feel like you've failed? Do you sit up? Do you sit down and give up? Or do you rise up to the challenge and try again? And you might notice that I am doing a whole lot of looking, and it might not look like I'm doing anything. I actually have a document set up with my words today because I need an aid to help me verbalize my feelings and to, wow, I can't even read it. And you know what? That's okay. I need an aid. I need this visual aid, and it's okay for me to accept that I need that. That is something that I need, and so I'm going to use this tool today to help me verbalize my feelings, because I feel, and I'm probably going to lose my voice during this today, and that's okay too. I feel like an absolute failure. That's honestly the words that rolled through my head most of yesterday after I pressed end broadcast. I feel like an absolute failure. Have you ever created something only to realize it wasn't good enough? Let me know in the comments, because I think it's important as creators that we have honest conversations about how we feel, because I'm pretty sure that many of you have been where I was yesterday and are going to be where I was yesterday in the future if you haven't had this feeling yet. Here's the thing, and I want to show a banner here. We can't get to the good unless we go through the difficult. I'm going to say that one more time. We can't get to the good unless we go through the difficult. I woke up yesterday morning and set up the back end of Streamyard for my live stream. Now, I have used the same exact camera setup since the first time I went live, and have not had a single problem with it, but somehow the camera angles had reset. We're talking about, I had a lot of stuff over here. You could see a lot of stuff over here. It was just crazy. Like, you could almost see part of my kitchen with the angle. I don't know what was wrong with it, but I spent 40 minutes trying to correct it. And for me, spending 40 minutes on that meant that that was 40 minutes of energy that it took away from the live stream, right? Like, that was 40 minutes that I wasn't anticipating doing before the live stream. I thought, I'll get in, I'll set everything up, and then I will be fine. Now, if you are just joining us, I am sharing the difficulties of learning a new skill and feeling like a failure when there are struggles. All right, so I spent 40 minutes on redoing the camera because it was off. This was yesterday, during yesterday's live stream. And then I worked on setting everything else. And there was about 15 minutes to spare to throw on my easiest. It's just easiest for me to put the same thing on for every live stream so I don't have to think about it. And I just realized that I did not turn on my light to help with my glasses glare. So I'm going to do that real quick. See? We're going to do that real quick, and I'm not going to feel like I failed because this happened. It's a learning process. All right, so I set up everything else. I had 15 minutes to spare to throw on this, which is what I wear every time. I turned on the lights. That's how I remembered I hadn't turned them on, and I realized right away that something was very, very wrong. I had a headache. I had massive brain fog. I didn't know what was going on. And I came about this close to rescheduling that live stream. However, I decided to just push through it. Now, I'm not sure if that was one of the best or worst decisions that I could have made, but it's the one that I made and I can't take it back. Now, if you are just joining us, you might be thinking that you're in the wrong place. If you use Canva or create content, you are, in fact, in the right place. I am sharing the difficulties of learning a new skill and feeling like a failure when there are struggles. Let's see here. So the moral of this next part is that it is okay to have feelings, but don't sit in your feelings too long. Granted, it could have gone a whole lot worse, but when I ended that stream, I wanted to cry. I closed all of the tabs on my computer and I went to sit in my chair. Now, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you a picture of this chair. Let me pull it up. All right, here it is. Here's this chair. This chair isn't attractive. It makes a lot of squeaking noises. It's not necessarily comfortable, but my parents bought this chair when I was in 8th grade, and 2 years ago, it found its way into my living room. I find comfort. I can't figure out which way to point in that chair. Yesterday, after the live stream, I sat in that chair for hours bashing myself. I'm telling you, I don't do this. I don't do this at all, but I did it yesterday. These were the things that came into my head. You failed. Epic failure. How could you leave that video public? You are a disappointment. Nobody learned anything today. Now, here's the thing. If you are just joining us, you might be thinking you're in the wrong place, but I'm basically sharing the difficulties of learning a new skill and feeling like a failure when there are struggles. So let's go back to this chair. This chair is old. It is squeaky. It has seen a lot of heinies, including mine. I have sat in this chair more hours than I can count, but it has never failed me. Well, it's failed me a couple times. I've kind of fallen out of it a couple times. It squeaks. It makes noises, but it's there. It's solid. Now, what I was saying is that it is okay to have feelings, but don't sit in those feelings of failure too long. Now, Let me get rid of this chair. I love this chair, by the way, even though it is hideous and messy. We're going to get rid of the chair. And I want to share this comment. Movie lovers unite. It's okay. Wow. Brain, get it together. I agree with you. It's okay to be disappointed with the way the video went and wondering what I did wrong, but you have to keep going. So here's the thing. I'm going to star these comments too. And this is what I want you to do. If you are finding value in today's deep conversation, and I'm about to drive the point home. If you find value in what I talk about today, please let me know by hitting the like button, because honestly, those likes give me motivation. I've got self-motivation. I don't need other people to motivate me, but it does help and it makes me feel good. But I want to tell you a story about how I got out of that feeling. And this is what I was feeling. Negative thoughts were all over. I felt like an epic failure. I felt like I'd completely failed myself. I felt like I'd failed all of you. But inspiration can hit when you least expect it. I'm not saying it was like a light switch flipped. But I was watching this video from Jo, and her channel is called Footless Jo. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let's see. I'm going to pull up Jo's channel. Hold up. I'm not great at doing two things at once because I want to share her channel with everybody. All right. Now, let me share this stream. Here it is. So she created this video called, "I got a wheelchair and I hate how I feel about it." Ooh. I mean, that right there, that's a tough statement. But so the video is about how she recently acquired a wheelchair from her good friend and was talking about all of her thoughts that went through her mind and how she felt about her chair. I immediately went into compassion and empathetic mode. Then it hit me. I can be so compassionate and empathetic when other Canva users and other YouTubers have moments, but I fail to give myself that same amount of compassion, empathy, and leniency to learn. Whew, I have about 1,400 words on this page. I think I'm over more than half, but it's a lot. Let's see what Movie Lovers Unite has to say. It's okay to learn new skills and not to stumble with those new skills, but you can always improve on those things. Absolutely. So this goes perfect with, it goes perfect with this. This is my phrase. I don't know when I heard this phrase, but I have used it for at least 20 years. Every expert was once a beginner. So you look at YouTubers like Nick Nemeth. Nick goes live. He goes live probably twice a week now. And he's been doing this for a while. And even he has mess ups, right? Like there's technical things that go wrong. Now, he doesn't have the same, I don't think that he has the same challenges that I have, where it's really kind of difficult for me at times to find the words that I'm looking for. But he does have technical challenges. So in addition to the technical aspect of live streaming and creating videos, I'm dealing with an additional challenge of having difficulty with word finding. I can write it down great, but when it comes to having to think spontaneously about what to say, I really have difficulty with that. And so that makes live Canva tutorials a little challenging. So I might not be a beginner at YouTube. I am definitely not a beginner at Canva, but I am a beginner when it comes to live streaming. And in that thought, I realized that yesterday I wasn't a failure at all. It was successful in the simple fact that I pressed go live. Even though I had a tremendous headache, my sensitivities were all over the place, and I was all over the place because my brain just could not be cohesive. Maybe the person that needed yesterday's lesson was me. Maybe the person is you. Maybe it's someone that hasn't had the opportunity to see this channel yet. I'm still not positive that I'm going to leave that live stream up public, but what I couldn't do is wait another week to have a live stream, because that would mean that I would have a week to think about all the things that went wrong. All right. I'm scrolling. I'm scrolling through my aid because I need a visual aid with a script today. Let's see. We've got see, my buddy, and I don't even know. I know Movie Lovers Unite. I've seen you in Nick's chats all the time. I think I've probably even seen you other places, but I really, really, really appreciate you showing up today for today's live stream, because it really is difficult. It's difficult for me to talk about emotional things and feeling like a failure, because I try not to feel like that. But it happens, and it happens to all of us. Let's see. But you are really holding down the chat, and thank you, thank you, thank you. So let me read this one. I also felt disappointed with the way a video went, and I'm like, what did I do wrong? I was also blaming myself and in a negative space, but thanks to the people that support me, I was able to pull myself out of it. Yeah, absolutely. So here's the thing. I was able to pull myself out of it, right? I had to. Like, what were my options? To quit? No. I've been doing this for too long that quitting's not an option. And do you know, I'm only about 400 watch hours away, probably a little more than that, from being able to apply for monetization. Quitting right now is not an option. I have worked too hard and too long to quit over one bad day. So if you were just joining us, I just word vomited all over the place about emotions of learning a new skill and feeling like a failure when there are struggles. And I've had a whole lot of feelings over the last, 24 hours. And what I want you to do is, if you have feelings, we all have feelings, right? And you want to share them in the comments, I would love to hear them. So if you're watching this on replay and you've gotten this far, thank you for listening. And here in a second, I will get to teaching something in Canva. I just really needed to share what was on my mind and in my heart this morning, because it just really, It was really eating away at me. But let's see. So one thing that I really like to do, I see this. Live streams can be so stressful compared to editing because you can always edit something else. Nah. Can I read today? Why don't I take a sip of water? Because you can always edit something out when you're not live compared to doing live shows. Yep. So here's the thing. When I'm creating tutorials, I actually, most of the time, record the audio first, and then I record the visuals. I don't even record it all in one segment because I know my brain just can't, I just can't do it. And if I did it that way, it would take me an hour to sit down and do it that way. And then I would have to edit it out and then add in new clips anyway, because I didn't get the right thing. So I record all of the audio as a voiceover. That's why my edited Canva tutorials are voiceover only, because it just takes out one element. And so I know that there are several aids that I specifically need. And one of those aids is I need to script it out sometimes. And the other aid I need is when I'm doing voice, okay, give me my brain. I think I lost it. When I'm doing, oh no. Wow, I really lost it. All right, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to play something. Oh, voiceovers. Thank you. I tell you what, I'm going to play you something. And hopefully by the time it's finished, I will have it in my head. But one thing that I like to do when I'm in a negative space or things have gone wrong is I like to go into Canva and just play around. So I created this actually this morning for the trailer of today's video, but there is a little extra that wasn't on the trailer. So let's look at that real quick. Let's see. Here it is.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Is this an argument or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back.
All right, I just realized that I've probably been sharing. I've been sharing my Word document this whole time, but that's that's all right. So, what I discovered is that when I watched Joe's video, and she's talking about wheelchairs and needing a wheelchair and needing an aid for mobility, is that it is absolutely okay if I need an aid for creating videos, if I need an aid for live streaming. And what that looks like for me is doing doing mostly faceless content, creating videos that are faceless so I don't have to edit all of the brain dumps that are happening out, and also using scripts and really having bullet points for what I want to talk about, using banners as bullet points like this one. Every expert was once a beginner, and I've got all of these banners, and some of them I use, some of them I don't, but it is what it is. And I need those aids, and I should not feel bad about needing those aids, right? Like I should not feel bad about it at all. If you are just joining us, I just word vomited all over the place about emotions of learning a new skill and feeling like a failure when there are struggles. And now I think I'm going to do what I do best and teach some Canva, because I don't know, I think 26 minutes of emotion is just enough for everybody. And I can't believe I did not cry, because I practiced this morning and I cried a lot. I think it's because I practiced that I did not cry. All right, let's share a screen. Not that screen though, because you don't need to see that. And absolutely, I am so ready. And what I'm going to do today is sort of redo yesterday's lesson, just hopefully a little bit better, because I'm getting back on the horse, baby. All right, let's see. Add to stream. Let's take it here. So I've got a little more. All right. By the way, you're here. If you have any questions at all, it's kind of like a private tutorial for you. You can ask them, even if it goes off what I'm talking about here, it's fine, because you know what? Life is life, and you might have questions that you absolutely are dying to know. So let's do this. All right. So let me look at my banners. This is my aid for today. And the first thing we're going to do is get a slideshow of pictures. This is the part that's going to take the most consumption. And I'm going to make it easy on myself. And I'm going to use see, this is what I'm talking about. I need aids like verbal cues, because I can't remember what I'm supposed to say here, but that's okay. What I'm going to do, wow. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab any one of these documents, because I'm going to use Canva resize feature a little later on to resize it to a video document. But if you do not have Canva Pro, then just start off with a video document. But I want to start off actually with just a square social media post. And I'm going to grab an Instagram size. And I'm just going to get all of the pictures that I want or need for this slideshow. And I'm going to go to Elements, and we're going to do a food slideshow, just like the one that went wrong. I'm repeating it because only failure is failing to try again. So we're going to go to Photos, and I'm just going to grab a bunch of these photos. So I'm going to give you a bunch of tips and tricks about how to add photos to a background. And this one, for example, trick number 1 is you can left click the photo and then drag it to the background, just like that. That's one way to add a picture to a background. We're going to click Add a Page. And the second way is to click the image, then go back to that image, right click and set image as background. So those are the two ways that you can add it. Oh, and got a third way. You ready for it? So we've got this one. We're going to click it. You can left click and bring it up to the top and size it to the background and click out, and it will snap to the background. So there's 3 different ways that you can add pictures to your slideshow, but you might put a picture and you might want it different. So like this one, we're going to do that. Set images background. When you left click it, you can drag it over and position it to the way you want it. We're going to keep doing this. Now, when you're doing a slideshow with music or even with a voiceover, you are going to need a lot of photos. You're going to need more photos and videos than you think you need. Absolutely, you're going to need way more than you think you need. So I like to start off with about 25 to 30, maybe even more than that, but we'll start off with 30 and see where it goes. But what I like to do is mix it up between pictures and photos. So we're going to do 4 photos right here, and then I'm going to grab a video. So I'm just going to go to the videos tab with food, and I'm going to slide that over, and when I click on it, it says that it is 35.3 seconds. I don't want it to be that long, so I click the timer, and I'm going to go ahead and shrink it. We're going to shrink it to about 9 seconds, and then I'm going to click plus, and we will add 4 more images. I'm going to go back to photos, and we'll grab some more images. Again, the trick for adding images to a background, there's 3 ways. You can left click, drag, and it will pop into place. That's way number 1. Way number 2 is by clicking it and then right click, set images background. And way number 3 is clicking it and taking it up to the corner, and then you can size it to the background. And you can double click it and position it the way you want and click out of it, and it will snap to the background that way. So picture, picture, picture. I want 1 more picture here. And we're going up to about 30 pictures. 30 pictures, few videos. So we're going to take this one, left click, it will pop into place. And now we're going to go to the videos tab and add a video. And so let's see. I might just add this video right here and click this and change the size of the length of the video. And the reason why I'm using this particular design without a video template is that I am going to resize it to a video template a little later on, but it leaves less noise for me. It leaves a little less distraction. And when you have issues with focus, sometimes this is a good way because you can't tell that there's a difference in length here. But I'm just going to be adding 30 or so pages of images and videos. And when I transpose it to the video template, then I can focus on the music and the timing and the transitions. So we've got 4 photos and a video, 4 photos and a video. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to copy all of these because it's the process that I want to show you. I don't want to sit here and go through adding the photos and adding the videos. I just want you to see the process. So you got how that works. And now I'm just going to duplicate this. And we've got it again. And now we're going to duplicate it one more time. And that should be good. It should be good. We'll find out. I've got 30 things here. And if you are just joining us today, I am talking about how to create a slideshow of pictures. Earlier, I went on an emotional journey about being a creator for YouTube, and failure and aids being okay that you need it. My brain doesn't always process the way it should, but here we go. We've got 30 pictures or videos. And now I'm going to resize this to a video document. And now when I do this, so I'm going to resize right here, and I'm just going to resize it. Now everything is going to be in the video document. Do you see this? So everything is 5 seconds long, except for the video clips that are here. I might even take this one and make it a little longer, but it's fine for now. And everything looks great. And now what we're going to do is add the transitions. We're going to add the transitions at this point because we've got all the photos and the videos in there that we want, and we can add the transitions. And what I like to do is add the transitions before I change the timing, because a transition is going to change these timings anyway, and it just is going to help. So we're going to add plus, add a transition. Now, what I'm going to do is add the stack transition, and I'm going to change the duration to 1 second. And then I'm just going to make the direction go to the right. And then I'm going to click apply between all the pages. So now you will see that there's a transition between all of the pages, and all of these are, give or take, 4 or 4.5 seconds. So what I need to do now is change the timing of them, because having a static image for 4 or 4.5 seconds it's a little long. So we're going to take this and change the timing of the pictures to 3.2 seconds and apply to all the pages. Now this is going to change all of the video timing too. So here we go. You know what? It needs a little, I think it needs even less. So let's do 2.8. Apply between all the pages. And now what I need to do is go to the video clips and drag them out. Because if I don't, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I don't, then it's not going to be long enough. And we'll just keep going down, finding the video clips. Another trick you could do is, instead of putting the video clips in, you could leave it blank so that you could find the video clips faster. So you see now it's not long enough probably. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go and duplicate that. Actually, I don't want them there. I want them at the end. I don't know. It's not. Why isn't it working for me? It's fine. We're just going to pretend like everything is fine. I'm going to go to uploads now, and I'm going to add the audio. And the audio that I want to use for this is New Arcade. So I'm going to click on New Arcade. This is a song that I downloaded from creatormix.com. All right, we're on music. If you need the tutorial on creatormix.com, leave me a comment in the description. In the description. Wow. I'm just on it today. We're having an A+ lesson. All right, so I added the music. Now, here's the thing about music. You want to use music that's not going to get you a copyright claim or strike. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram or wherever, you do not want a copyright claim or strike. So you want to use royalty-free music. What I love to use is if I'm doing it for YouTube, I will use the YouTube Studio library, and I will show you where I find that. Hold on a second. I'm going to go to the back end. I'm going to grab it before I show it to you. We're going to go to, all right. Let me share the screen here. In the back end of YouTube, there is a studio function or a audio library, and you can download these songs. And if you hover over, it will tell you what you can do. So like this one, no attribution is required. So you can just download it and use it in YouTube. I wouldn't recommend using it in anywhere else, just for YouTube, just because you might get a claim on elsewhere, but you will not get a claim in YouTube if you use from their audio library. Now, the other thing that I like to do, let me pull it up first, is use Creator Mix, and there's a reason why I like to pull it up first. All right, let's get app back on. Because Creator Mix is a free music for content creators, and you can use it on a whole bunch of different platforms. Nick and Dee Nemon just asked that you give him an attribution wherever you're sharing it. So, for example, if I go to Moods and 80s Retro, and I go to Ocean Drive, this is one of my favorite tracks on Creator Mix. You can sit here and just download it after you've logged in, and they just ask that you copy and paste the text into the video description. Now, because I use a whole bunch of different songs from Creator Mix, I just add a single attribution in my descriptions, music by creatormix.com, because it's easier for me, and they are okay with that, especially if you use more than one of their songs. But yeah, I love Creator Mix. And what I do in Canva is I go to uploads, and then I upload that music file that I can use in YouTube here. And I know that it comes from Creator Mix when it's got CM next to it. So CM, track 4, New Arcade, right? CM, track 3, Energetic Particles. The one that I used this morning was called Take Me Back, and it was from Audio Library. And what it sounds like is this. Let me go to brand, and I'm going to show you this. This is what
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back.
All right, so that was the song that I got from Audio Library called Take Me Back. But for this one, I just am grabbing the, I think I grabbed, I tell you what, let's delete it. What you want to do when you add your music is make sure your timer is at the beginning, your playhead, and then you can add your music. And by adding royalty-free music, you don't have to worry about copyright claims or strikes. So I just love using Creator Mix because I don't have to worry about it. And it's free. It's free. I use it because I love it. I share it because I love it. Like there is no other reason I share about Creator Mix. But what you're going to do is make sure that your slideshow is the same length as your song. It's pretty close. I could change a couple things and make it even closer if I wanted. So you just want to make sure that everything is close. You also want to make sure that your audio volume is good. So we're going to click on the audio clip and go up here and click volume. And lately I've been going at 30. The clip that I created for the trailer, the clip that I created for the intro scene, and Need a Minute, they've all been at 30. So if you think that sounds good, then go with 30 for the music. But creating a slideshow is simple as that. Adding your photos, adding whatever videos you want, adding your transitions, adjusting the timing, and adding the music or voiceover, whatever you would like to do. Now, if you want to make it fancy, if you want to give it a little something special, then what you're going to want to do is change up your transitions. For this one, I just used the stack transition, but technically we could use a different transition between every single one. And you could even, my brain, I just lost it. You could even just go make a change as simple as changing the direction. And by the way, all these transitions are free. You can do them whether you have a free account or a Canva Pro account. But the feature I shared earlier where I did all of the photos and videos in an Instagram post document and then resized it to a video, that is a Canva Pro feature. But we're going to go and just change a few things. We're going to grab the transition and change it. We'll grab this one and change it. And then we'll grab this one and maybe go to a dissolve. And let's just look at this. Yeah. So yeah. So you go and you make adjustments to all of the transitions. And once you do that, you of course would want to make sure your ending is how you would like it. And then you can even add some extras at this point. Let's say that you want to have some text pop up on the screen, or you want some slides where there are just words, and you could do that at this stage. But we're going to download it. Click share, click download, and then you would download everything. MP4 video, all the pages, and download. Now, one thing that the edited videos may not share, it takes a while for things to download, especially if there's a lot of photos, videos, a lot of transitions, a lot of animations, a lot of that. It just takes a while. And so we're going to see how long this one takes to download. But while we're doing that, I thought that I would show you the clip. We're going to go to this one, and I'm going to go to For You. And I just want to show you the video that I created. I think that it should be this one and this one. I want you to see that you can use the same concepts with YouTube trailers. You can use it for intro scenes or whatever. And this is the intro scene. I'm going to show you the intro scene that I started off with right here. It looked like this.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small.
All right, so this is that clip. The music track, which I don't have any information for, but it was part of this one called Take Me Back by, I think it's Neffex. And then I just had a few different clips. So this one was a video, and I shrunk it down and made a dissolve transition with Yesterday Was Awful on it. And then this transition was a stack transition at 0.9 seconds. And then I created this effect. So from here, it looked like this. And this one, I just wanted words on a black background. Poppin's extra bold, and I used the bounce text effect, which is free. I did change the intensity and the writing style because I don't remember which one's natural, but I changed it to this intensity and this character style. And then I did this one with a stomp. And if you'll notice, I actually made a mistake in this one. I forgot to, well, it's fixed here, but in the original one, it was lifted up. I made a mistake. It's not a big deal. But this is what that little slideshow looked like. And it's just a way to think outside the box. Photo slideshow. How can you use photo slideshow for an intro? For an intro, for a trailer, for whatever. And this is the exact thing that I used for today's intro. If you are just joining us, earlier I had an unconventional Canva tutorial about emotions over creating content, especially on YouTube, and have just gone over a slideshow tutorial talking about how to add photos, videos, transitions, and all that kind of stuff. And I was just going through and showing some of my products or projects, I guess. If you have any questions about how to use Canva, what are you struggling with in Canva? I would love to know. I see that there's a couple people watching. So tell me what you're struggling with, because I would love to have you. Consider this like the Creator Classroom open house, where you have questions and I might have answers. I might not, but you never know. So pop in the live chat and tell me what you want to know. In the meantime, I'm going to give, again, Movie Lovers Unite a huge shout out for sticking with me through my emotional journey this morning. And when I shared a little bit about my old chair and what happened to me yesterday after I went live, I was a hot mess. And I had to get back on the horse because I don't like to sit in my feelings. I like to get back on the horse and go. In this case, it meant go live before next week. So if you have questions, don't leave me hanging. I need a question to answer. Because if you don't come up with a question, then what happens is I go off the cuff. And when I go off the cuff, I lose my train of thought. So I need some help. All right, let's see here. Oh, so here's the longer version, right? So I did the short version. Oh, it helps to share the screen. I did the short version here. Like this part is a trailer, and it is the beginning of today's live stream. But I did add more to it as I was creating, because one of the things that I was talking about this morning is that I am a person, and I feel like everyone's like this, needs aids or tools to help them get over the hump or help them create. And for me, what I need, the tools that I need, it's okay for me to go, hey, you know what? I need some tools to help me live stream. And what did I need to do to help me live stream today? I needed notes. I needed copious amounts of notes. Let me show you. Let me show you what I started off with. And what's funny is the notes didn't even, I mean, they helped me a lot, but let me show you. I needed notes. Do you have what you need for today's unconventional Canva tutorial? Water? Notes? Tissues? Compassion? So I needed notes. And so I created notes for this morning's, for the emotional journey, the emotional roller coaster of this morning. So I knew if I did not have the notes, then I wouldn't get through the live stream. So I did that first. And then, hold up. The other thing that I like to do when I'm going through some struggles is I like to create. I don't even like to create for something specific. I was actually not even going to go live today. And I created this. I created this PDF. Negative thoughts took over me. I'm an epic failure. You failed. You're awful. You're done. These are all things that I said to myself. And for me, and hopefully it will help you too, when I feel like I failed, the best thing for me to do is get in a creative space, put it out there in a creative way, even if nobody sees it, and work through it. So I created this. And after I created this, I thought, ooh, I could create something that sort of puts into creativity how I'm feeling. And so I put together the intro hook. I found a music that really resonated with me, and I just created a 20-second clip. And what's funny is it started off as a 20-second just creative clip, but then I was like, you know what? I could go live about this. So I did.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small.
Okay, so I did that because that's just it was necessary. Now, there are good and bad ways to handle when you feel like a failure, and I'm not sure that this is the healthiest way to deal with feeling like a failure, unless it's little like playhouses or maybe your own houses. Hopefully, I mean, we've got this afterwards. So assuming it's a little bit of a joke, but yeah. So what I did yesterday was I after I sat in my chair, which, by the way, if you've not seen it yet, looks like this. It is not the most attractive chair on the planet. It is really old. My parents bought it when I was in 8th grade. So what, 2 years ago? I'm kidding. And a couple years ago, it wound up at my house and I sit in it. And my hat, you see, so yesterday after, let me see if I can, yeah, here we go. So yesterday after I got done with the live stream, I finished it, I pressed end broadcast, and it was all I could do not to cry because the whole time I had trouble with sensitivity. I had trouble with word finding. I had trouble with everything. It just was a complete disaster. Now, that didn't mean that it was an actual disaster. It just means that's the way I was feeling. So I went and got in this chair. Now, this chair, 80, we're talking about this chair is a good 35 years old, 32 years old. It's pretty old. So I got in the chair and I immediately took my hat off and put it on the arm of the chair. I grabbed my remotes and my phone and I immediately propped my legs up and I just sat there and all the negative thoughts went into my head. And I let myself feel that because you know what? Sometimes I don't let myself feel that. That chair makes me feel jealous. I could sleep 16 hours in a recliner like that. Well, let me tell you what, looks can be a little bit deceiving, but I do love that recliner. I spend most of my time when I'm not sitting here in that recliner, and it's a source of comfort for me. It does squeak. It makes noises, especially if I'm just rocking a little bit. And sometimes I make it make noises on purpose to annoy my husband. But it really is a great place. And I really like to curl up in a little ball in it because it reminds me of when I was like in 8th grade and I would get in it and I would sit in it as comfortable as I could and just like melt the day away. I would sit there with my Game Boy and just like have fun. Well, yesterday, I do have that Game Boy still, by the way. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. See, I'm not joking. I still have the Game Boy. And in it, Tetris. So yeah, if you had seen me at like 8th grade me at home, at my parents' home when I was in 8th grade, I would have been in that chair playing the Game Boy. If I was at home, it was very rare that I was home, but that's where I would have been. Now, so yesterday I get off, I end the screen, I end the stream, and I immediately get in the chair because that chair is like comfort to me. So I get in the chair and I sit there probably with nothing on. Like I had all the lights in the house off. I had nothing with sound on. I just turned off everything and I closed my eyes. And all of these negative thoughts started pouring in and I let them. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I need to watch something. So I pulled up YouTube. And what you may not have seen, let me see if I can pull it up on my computer. I follow this woman and her name is Jo. And if you're just joining us, you might think that you've, look, I've typed in the footless. You might think that you're in the wrong place, but you are. But if you have any questions about how to use Canva, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm just having an emotional word vomit day. Let's see. I've got to get rid of the ad here. I know this is so riveting. Okay, here we go. Add to stream. We're going to change the view. So I watched this popped up, and it's called I Got a Wheelchair and I Hate How I Feel About It. Now, I don't know why YouTube chose to serve this video up to me. I mean, I am subscribed to Joe. I've been subscribed to Joe for a long time, and I don't know what made her channel come across my feed in the first place, but I really resonate with Joe. And it's not because I'm an amputee. I have all of my, as she calls them, meat limbs. But I resonate with her personality, and I love to learn about things. Let me do this real quick. Do you use an Apple or Android Canva? Okay, I use Android. I use Android and Windows. I have a really hard time with Mac products, like a legit hard time with Mac products. But you can download the Canva app on Apple or iOS or Android. You can have a desktop app, and you can use it in the web browser. I just prefer the web browser because it's easier for me. Great question. So I watched this video, and this scene popped up 37 seconds in. Wow, Joe, you've grown a lot. Your thoughts and feelings about how you see mobility devices have evolved and changed. And that hit me like a ton of bricks. I feel compassion for Joe about how she feels about herself and how she feels about the wheelchair. How come I can't have the same compassion for myself when it comes to needing an aid for the live streams? Like, why can't I have a little bit of that compassion for myself? And then I got a really lovely message, because one of the things that I've learned about myself is that it really helps to communicate how I'm feeling with someone that I trust. And I'm not going to show you the exact message because I do not want to, for privacy reasons, but I sent another YouTuber a message that said, I could legit cry. Today's stream went so badly. My brain just went on overload and I could not get things out right. I should have known that's how it would go when I tried to do my practice and things just went horribly wrong. But I thought, I'll push through it and it will be fine. I'm sure it's not as bad as I feel that it went, but I'm telling you, I want to crawl myself into a little hole and cover myself up with blankets. So I sent her that at 10:39 a.m. So that was right after I ended the live. I sent my friend this message, and then I closed down my computer. I went to, let's show the chair again. I went to my chair and I sat there. I sat there from I sent the message at 10:39. I sat there from 10:40 until my husband got home, because right before he got home, I went to the kitchen to prep it for dinner. But yeah, I sat in my chair and I sat there and then I let me feel all the feels until I found Joe's message, her timely message about it. It wasn't even the message I think that she was sending, but it was the one that I needed and the one that I got and the one I took from it. So you never know when, and so this was one of the banners I showed earlier. Inspiration can hit when you least expect it. And that comes from getting yourself out of a bad place when you're creating for YouTube. But it also can come from creating designs. Like inspiration can come where you least expect it. I find that I get a lot of inspiration for designs by looking at things like Netflix. If you look at Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus or whatever streaming, if you have any streaming services, right? I just have Amazon Prime and Netflix. But if you look at the way they package their things, right? Their titles and their thumbnails, you can take inspiration for your designs from them. And I actually, one of the designs that I love to do, I actually saw in a professional advertisement, but I do want to share before I share how to do that with, it's a funny text trick with an image. I want to share what my friend said. She said, I know the feeling. It's like going on stage and forgetting your lines. But those are the times that we can learn the most. We don't learn by getting it right every time. Isn't she right? So you don't learn by getting your designs in Canva perfect every time. You learn by making mistakes. Now, what I learned yesterday was that if I turn this light on and I'm prepping and I have a headache and my brain is already foggy and I'm just struggling with sensory overload, then what I learned is that it is better for me and for my audience if I reschedule my live stream. Even if it has been planned for 24 hours, it is better if the live stream is rescheduled than to try to push through it. Or try to push through it, but if in 15 minutes it still hadn't cleared up, then call it. Let's see. I've got a comment. Let's see what that says. I like Roberta Blake's suggestion to look at sports teams when picking your brand color. You making that's inspiration. Like sports teams have branding figured out. They sure do. You can look at them and get things figured out. Now, what I'm going to do is go to Canva. Let's add this to stream. If you are just joining us today, I've been kind of on an emotional journey about my live stream that failed, at least to me, yesterday. If you want to see it and you want to go, oh, how bad could it be? I've not even rewatched it yet because I felt like it went that bad. But I will put it in the description. It might not stay public for long. I might remove it. It just depends. But let's open up a blank canvas. And I tell you what, we're just going to go with a thumbnail. So YouTube thumbnail or thumbnail. Let me get rid of this banner. And I'm going to show you a trick that you can do on your YouTube thumbnails. And let me just see if I can grab one here. This one sort of does it. We're just going to grab this one because this one sort of has the effect that I was looking. And what I also want to share with you is that sometimes you can pull templates and they might not be exactly what you want. Like this, I think that she needs to be a lot bigger. If you're going to use a stock photo like I do, I would make her a lot bigger so that she's really visible on a mobile device. So you want the person to be really big. Now, you can be creative with where you place her, but keep in mind there is a timestamp on YouTube, if you're creating for YouTube, that will cover up part of words or people. So we're just going to move her here. And this has a lot of words on it. You see, like there's a lot. It says secrets, how to go viral on social media. That's a lot of words. I wouldn't put nearly that many words on a thumbnail, or at least I try not to. But let's see if I can select those and make them a little bit bigger. Now, we're going to create the technique that I was inspired by seeing a professional advertisement. We're going to take this word secret and we're going to duplicate it. And then what we're going to do is click the effects. It already has an effect on it, but we're going to change it from lift to hollow. And then we're going to change the thickness down. Let's change it to 25 and put it back on top. And do you see how it goes through her hair? Now, I might not like, actually don't like the way the S covers up her face. So I actually would just get rid of the S and then slide secret right on top here. That way, it just says secret. I don't know. I'm not sure. So designing, it just, you have to think about it. Actually, you know what? We can move this over a little bit. Let's add the S back. Okay. And then we can slide her over a little bit as well. So then her hair goes through the S like that. And so I saw this technique, right? Like I saw it in an advertisement. I think it might have been for, I don't know if it was USPS or UPS, but I saw it on an advertisement like a few years ago. And I thought, I know how they did that. I didn't even have to look it up because I had been, it was probably about a year and a half ago, I saw it. I didn't even look it up because I knew how they had created it. And you can even change the color of the outline if you want, like this. But yeah, so just take inspiration from things that you see, print, online, look at, hold on a second, I'm about to cough like majorly, so I'm going to put something up on the screen because I need a minute.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where
All right, I just needed to drink some water and cough it out. So basically, you just take inspiration. So, for example, you could take inspiration actually from other people's YouTube channels. If you are watching and you want to shout out a niche, right? A YouTube niche. I know I Am Not a Cat is watching. If you want to shout out a YouTube niche or a YouTube video that you would like for me to search in the YouTube app on Canva, type in the comments. But I'm going to add a page here and I'm going to search for what about, oh, thank you for being my brain, philosophy. Let's see here. Philosophic theory. I don't know if philosophic is the right word. So there's a YouTube app right within Canva, and you can actually take thumbnail ideas straight from this app, right? So like I'll look at this, and obviously Crash Course has a very specific thumbnail style, right? But we're going to go through and see what we can come up with taking inspiration from one of these thumbnails. Like this one is pretty, it's wordy, but I do have an idea from it. So what I'm going to do is screenshot this. Let me see. Can I make, there we go. I'm going to screenshot this because I want to get the idea of the thumbnail right. And so I want a border first. We're going to go ahead and make the border. R on the keyboard for the border, and we're going to make it the same size as the thumbnail canvas. And then we're going to click this. It's called border style. We're going to add a border weight, and I'm just going to make it to 10. And then I'm going to click this color, and then I'm going to click transparency to make it transparent. And then I'm going to click the border color. And why don't we just make it that same color? Or here's some photo colors. All right. We're going to send it all the way to the back. And now we're going to get some more inspiration from this by getting a person in the background. So we're going to get, let's see if I just type in philosophy. Well, it helps if I spell it right, but guess what? Canva fixed it for me. Showing results for blank. Search instead for, I still, philosophy. All right, here we go. So I want to see, this one's about quantum mechanics and philosophy. If you were doing a video on that, how would you do something different? You would put your face if you're in it, right? Or somebody else. Let's see if we've got, let's just use this thinker typeface. We're going to click edit image background remover. I'm just using it as a placeholder. I think using things like this as placeholders is hysterical. And here's the thing. You can create placeholders sort of like frames and then put, you can put, so you see how I did this. We're going to put it here in the corner like you would for any image. And then normally I would add a shadow, but I'm not even going to do that right now. But if I were to click cutout only. Let's see if there's a cutout. If I wanted to use him instead, we're going to left click and see. Look, it went into place. Oh no, am I really going to start coughing? All right, so we've got a face. This thumbnail sort of has a line in the middle. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to take the, what about quantum mechanics? We're just going to use something like this. I don't know what colors I would want yet. I don't like the way that looks. So let's try something else. Okay, that's better. I like that better. Now, what we're going to do is words. We're just going to show you how this would work. Of course, you would use your own words, but T on the keyboard. I don't know why my T isn't working. Sometimes that happens. So instead, I'm just going to go over here to text and add a text box. And then let's just quantum mechanics. Actually, let me tell you my little trick. I like to make separate text boxes. And I like to do that because I can really be very specific with my spacing here. And philosophy. I could spell today. That would be great. More like if I could type today. Okay, so now I'm going to go like this. I selected them all by clicking Shift on my keyboard, and I'm just going to make sure that they're positioned evenly. And, well, that didn't work. They should be about left aligned. Now, instead of doing all of this with whoever it is, I'm actually going to get rid of this. I'm going to create that rectangle box. Well, now my rectangle box, I feel like it must be going somewhere that's underneath, but we're going to go like this. I clicked R on the keyboard and put it up and slide it underneath this text. And I'm going to change the color of the font like this. We're just going to grab, I'm selecting all these with the Shift. Well, apparently I did not select all of them. Wow, it's just not taken. And moving them down more towards the middle. And that's how I took this, right? I was inspired by this thumbnail to create this thumbnail instead. Now, I would do a whole bunch more to it with text effects, maybe a lift and a lift thing there. We're going to click the three dots. There it is, copy style. But something like this. Let's see. I'd probably keep the yellow for the text and maybe other rainbow colors to create a more lighthearted and whimsical image for the image. So this is just my personal style. I think that thumbnails look better with less color. And so when you add when you add more than one color, then it gets to be a little difficult. I don't know how it would look here. Let's see. Actually, that's okay. That's okay. That color's okay. So I'm going to change both of them to that. And let's see. We'll change that one too. But yeah, I just like to, especially for text, I like to just use, if I'm going to use more than one color for text, I just like to use 2 instead of more than 1. But if you did want to make each letter a different color, then you can do that. It just, you have to click on each individual letter. But to me, let's see if I can, to me, it's just a little harder to read everything. I'm trying to do more than one thing at once. So my brain's like, what are you doing to me? Philosophy. Roy, G. I've got to do it every time. Biv. Let's go to a blue. So we're going to click here and go to a purple, and then we'll go back to the red. So you just highlight each one at a time. Here we go. And what I probably would do instead is change this to white. Something like that. If you were going to, not the letters, the entire word, but individual letters. It's an interesting idea. Actually, you know what? I actually don't hate that as much as I thought I did, or I thought I would. So it really goes to show you that you just have to try different things. Yeah. I mean, like, I wasn't expecting that to look cool, but once I changed it to white, it kind of gave it a cool effect. I mean, it's not something that I would do on this channel because I've got a very specific brand, but I'm glad that you said what you said, because see, like, look, okay. So this, right? You said what you said. I'd probably keep the yellow for the text with maybe other rainbow colors to create more lighthearted, whimsical look for the image. So you said what you said, right? And I read it and I interpreted it this way. So my brain interpreted it this way, but you meant something completely different. But what's fun is that we can interpret words, written words, completely different and make things fun, right? So that's a fun way. That is really, really fun. Okay, here, look, I'm not a cat. You're inspiring me today, man. Or lady, I'm not sure. Now all you need is Optimus Prime or Megatron for the dude. I'm not sure if they have that. Let's see here. Megatron. Optimus Prime. Look, they're giving me prime beef. I'm a dude. Good to know. I mean, like, I'd always assumed, but I also know what assuming does to you. But to be fair, I might forget tomorrow. All right, let's see. So I'm not getting anything here. Let's see. Transformers. Oh, it's because I'm looking in graphics. Watch. So now I wonder if I look up Optimus Prime Look, it's giving me Prime Video. All right, so back to Transformers. Let's just make it fun for you. Even though this dude makes me laugh. Portrait of mature business. Oh, let me just leave that there. Oh, this isn't going to work because it's not an. Oh, look at that. It did. Did you see that? Did you see that? Right? Like you take it and it. Bloop. That's a little much. Let's vertical it. Yes. There you go. Optimus Prime. Even though that's a little much, I wouldn't go there. Okay, that's weird. Oh. There's his hand. I was like, how is it going in like that? So now what I could do is make the effect. Let's do the hollow effect, even though it's in black now. But look at that. That's a cool way. Let's, I didn't think that one would go. I love playing around with Canva. What else do you want to do? We want to create something new. Assume away. Thank you for being gracious. Let's see. Let me go back up. I think I would find a pop culture reference for the thinking man image. Yeah. That's a good idea. It stays on like trending topics. Let's see here. Oh, let me remove that real quick. I'm looking up something. All right, so tell me. I am not a cat. Tell me, are you on YouTube? I mean, I just said it and I realized what I said. The problem is I can't find you on YouTube. Let me go to the YouTube channel. Oh, I thought that, oh, it was at the top. Here we go. Not at the moment, but I will be. Okay, so this is what, can I give you some tips, tricks, and fun things, fun goodness? The first thing I would do is, this is just my throwaway account. I get it. The first thing I would do is join, if you haven't, and I think you have, is join when Nick Nimmin does live streams. He does live streams on Saturday morning and answers a whole bunch of questions about YouTube. I highly, you made me chuckle. Far away. Sparky. I would recommend joining in on Nick Nemen's live streams. He answers a bunch of YouTube related questions, and they are amazing. They happen, for me at least, they happen on Saturday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And they just are great. And if you get there early enough, if you look in the description, not of this channel, but if you look in Nick's descriptions on his live stream, he has a form in there where you can put in a question for him to answer, and he'll answer it live during the show. If you get there early enough, he'll get your question. But if you go in a little later, a lot of times he misses them because there's so many people there. That would be my first thing. The second thing would be in Canva is to, let me pull up the screen again, is if you're just getting started in Canva, what I would do is look up profile. And so you can create a profile in Canva. Let's see if YouTube profile. Hold up. Let me go back to the home page. YouTube profile. Okay, it didn't do what I thought it would do, but there's templates here, and you can use some of the templates, or you can click something. Let's find a free one. I don't know if you're using a free account or a pro account, but we're just going to grab the free one, right? And you can create a profile picture that's other than, watch this. You see how this just has your eye? You want to create a profile picture. And so I follow Nick, Sean, Roberta, Daryl, Patty, Brian G, channel makers. Oh, do you follow Ed from Film Booth? Yeah, they are amazing individuals. I love all of them. Although I admit that I've not seen much from Daryl or Patty, but I do consistently, at Roberto, I do consistently watch Nick, Sean, Brian G, Nate from Channel Makers, and Film Booth. They've got a tutorial or a video coming out. I want to watch it. So I also watch he's amazing. He's amazing. So what you're going to want to do is create a profile picture, and a profile picture in YouTube. Let me see if I can find for you where it would be. Let me hide the screen. I'm going to go to my studio and see if I can find out where that is and make sure that it doesn't show anything that I don't want it to. Oh yeah, it's good. All right, let me share the screen. All right, so when you set up your channel, this is what the back end looks like. There's a dashboard, content. If you have playlists, there are playlists there, analytics, comments, subtitles. If you're just joining us, I'm going off on a tangent. If you're starting a new YouTube channel, different things that you can do. And one of the things that you can do in Canva is create the customization tab. And here is where you would change your profile picture. And so if I click change, I don't really want to change it. It would pull up from my computer and I could add one. And they want it to be no more than 4 MB or less. You can use a PNG or a GIF as long as the GIF doesn't have animations. And it needs to follow YouTube community guidelines. So you want it to be at least 98 by 98, which these will be. So create a YouTube profile picture. And by the way, I created a tutorial for that. Let me show you where that is. We're going to go off screen to the channel. And we're back on the channel. All right. So what you do is go here. If you click the little magnifying glass, you can search for profile. And this will give you the tutorial on the Canva YouTube profile, and it will give you all of the information that you need. And then this is about end cards, and it talks about the end cards that you can add in Canva. This one is about channel art. And so you can make all of these things in Canva. And there's even a video. Let me click this playlist right here. So this playlist right here, I'm going to put it in chat, because that will help me remember to add it to the description. But you've got videos like how to use Canva for YouTube 25 different ways, make a professional YouTube profile picture, how to make better videos using B-roll, stop searching for YouTube thumbnails in Canva, and 6 tips to save time, how to add words to YouTube videos, how to make channel art, how to make a subscribe icon, the end cards. This one talks about the new shape feature, which you can use for subscribe icons. This one talks about thumbnail borders. Like, all of the things YouTube are in this playlist. And so I think it's very, very, very beneficial. Let's see. I'm reading to myself before I read it, a five titles test. Yeah, I've probably seen it. I've probably heard about it. My brain just isn't connecting the two, but I am going to star this to look at it after the stream is over. But yeah, 5 titles test. I'm definitely going to look at that later. Maybe not later today, but maybe tomorrow or this weekend. Yeah. Sometimes I struggle with titles, but sometimes I have a winner and sometimes I just struggle, but it's a good idea. And you are definitely in the right place looking at all those YouTube educators. The biggest tip that I have, though, is that you don't know what you need to know until you do it. So what is your channel going to be about? Who is your target audience? Those are the things to consider when creating a channel. And I think that I'm going to need to go here in a second because my voice is starting to give out. But yeah, look up YouTube profile. You can look up YouTube channel art, or as they call it, banner. But if you type in channel art, it will come up with channel art. Uh-oh. Well, so don't overdo it, my friend. I'm trying not to. Whoa. Charlie. It is so good to see you. So it's kind of a odd live today because I had a really bad live experience yesterday where I was really, really hard on myself. And to give myself a minute, and I know that I Am Not a Cat has already seen it already, but just in case you didn't, I created I failed video, and I'm going to put that on, and I'm going to drink water while I put that on and see if I can salvage my voice. But hold on a second.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Is this an argument or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back.
All right, let's see. Nope. I mean, it helped a little bit, but basically, if I talk too much for a period of time, I start to lose my voice. But I think I've got about 10 minutes left until I probably need to go. Charlie, absolutely, abso-freaking-lutely. Basically, the bullet points of the first of the stream was, have you ever created something to realize it wasn't good? Because yesterday I had it was a really bad day. I had a headache. I had a bunch of sensory issues. And instead of postponing my live to today, I went live anyway. And what I realized is that we can't get to the good unless we go through the difficult. And I allowed myself to sit in my feelings, but I find it valuable to, let me just pull me up, to not sit in your feelings too long, because when you do that, it's not going to set you up for success. I also discovered that inspiration can hit when you least expect it, because when I was sitting in this chair, this is my chair that I have sat in quite frequently. It was my parents' chair. They bought it when I was in 8th grade. And at some point, they got rid of it a couple years ago. It went to my mother-in-law's house for a little bit. And she decided that her place was just too small for an extra chair. So we brought it here. And I have been sitting in this chair every day since, instead of our couches, because it's it feels like comfort to me. And I even showed earlier that I used to sit in this chair in the 8th grade and play on this exact Game Boy. And it still has the game in it and everything. And so yesterday, when I was feeling at my worst, I sat in that chair. I would love to say I pulled out that Game Boy and played it, but I did not. after I got through feeling all these negative thoughts, which were things like, I'm an epic failure, you failed, I'm awful, I'm done, no more. I was like, no, I've worked too hard to let one little thing sway me. And I think I'm only like 400 some odd hours away from hitting that monetization threshold too. So what I realized is my mantra, every expert was once a beginner. And I say it all the time. I've used it at least since college. But I wasn't allowing myself grace. And I was inspired by a woman named Jo who did a video yesterday, and it was very timely, about how she was feeling about needing a wheelchair. And Jo's channel is called Footless Jo, and she had an amputation. I would call it an elective amputation. It was technically an elective amputation, but if you follow Jo at all, you know that it wasn't elective at all. She had had a lot of pain since she was a teenager, and they thought that it was her best option, amputation. And she was sharing how she was feeling about having to use the wheelchair. And as she's explaining how she's feeling, I'm thinking, I wish I could tell her it's okay. It's okay to use aids. It's okay to use tools, and no one's going to think less of you if there are tools that are going to help you achieve what you want to achieve your goals. It hit me like a ton of bricks. What tools do I need to live stream? Okay. Now, voice coach. Okay. So my thing is actually part of my chronic illness. So hiring a voice coach, that's not going to help really. And I don't have the funds for that. I just know that, I've not drunk enough water while I was doing this, honestly. And that's part of the problem. But I shouldn't lose it completely. I should be okay. It's just when I talk like this for like 8 to 10 hours, and I might lose it for a week. But I should be okay. Once I rest it for like an hour, by the time my husband gets home from work, he'll never know that it was off at all. Let me get rid of this banner here. We learn and grow from mistakes. You've done amazing work on your channel. I hope one day I can get to that point. Now, here's what I am not a cat doesn't know. I have known Charlie since before I started this channel. I started this channel because, not necessarily because of Charlie, but because of other YouTubers like Charlie. And I thought, I know how to do something and I can help them. Okay. If I didn't have my hat, I would give myself a face palm. My brain. Okay. I'm definitely going to need to go back and star some of these for my knowledge later. And one thing that I love to do, and I don't know if either one of you are going to be doing live streams, but one thing that I found that helps me is that I will take, and I don't want to show you my screen where I'm looking here, because if I do that, then I will be, as I said in one of them, I'm multiplying, because it will be like a mirror thing. And that's too much for my eyes. But I like to screenshot the chats. And so I'm using Streamyard. You'll see the little logo right here. I'm using the free version of Streamyard for this. Not sponsored. Streamyard, if you want to sponsor me, I'll take it. Wow, see, I lost my train of thought that quickly. What I'll do is in StreamYard, there is a little section for comments and live chat. And I will go back and I am going to copy and paste or screenshot every single one of these comments right at the end of it. And what I will do, let me go to Canva Home, and then I'm going to share this. What I will do is open up this thing called a whiteboard. And I will show you an example. So whiteboard is it's an unlimited space. It can be as big as you want it to be. So I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to take the comments, right? Like I'm going to screenshot it right now. I'm using my Elgato Stream Deck, which I love. And I press the screenshot button. You can also use it if you're on Windows with Shift, Windows, S. But now I'm going to paste it into the whiteboard, right? So I've got this. And I can go back. I'm going to go back and do all of these so that I can look at these comments later. And I might even do a YouTube community post with like 4 of my favorite comments from the stream. And so I will do that. And let's see what you guys are saying. My main focus is going back to uni, but I'll be doing a mix of, I'm not sure what the initials are. My brain's not working for that, but in my current content, I have to put uni first. Absolutely. Learning is key. And I do that all the time. Don't worry, losing train of thought is easy. I have brain farts probably 50 times a day. I think I use most of them in the live stream. Eventually, I will live stream, not at first though, but eventually I already have some streaming experience. I've never used StreamYard though. So I found that I really like StreamYard. There is, I guess, let me see. I tell you what, I'm going to show it to you, even though I'm going to multiply it. I'm going to multiply. Actually, I don't know if I'm showing you. I don't know if I'm showing you what I want to show you, actually. Oh, it helps to, here we go. Ah, there's so many of me. All right. Let me get rid of this banner, not the banner, the comment. Let me hide this. So this is what StreamYard looks like, although it is not like this and multiplied. Please give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I think you can still hear me. Okay. But basically, there is one screen here with what is on the YouTubes, right? So like if it's just me, like this, well, you can't see that. But like it shows me, see this square right here? It shows me what you are seeing. So if I move it down there, it shows you there. I'm going to get rid of me. And then down here at the bottom, it's got some stuff and I can share different things. So here's my screen. There was my chair. There's some more PDF files. And then over here, I've got different banners that I've created for things. I've got brand kits with video loops. There's even a private chat where I could send messages to myself, or if I had guests on, I could chat with them. And then here is the comments, right? And at the top, there's a starred section, so I can star different comments, and I can even show them like this, right? And so I'm going to go at the other one to my brain. I just lost my brain. It's because I can see all of this. Let me get rid of all of this and let me move. Actually, I can just move it back over. All right, let's see. My plan is to either use OBS or Streamyard into Restream. I'm a platform agnostic. I don't wish to be dependent on a single platform. This way, if something bad happens, I'm not completely lost. That's a great idea. It's always great to have backup options. For example, so I use Canva. Canva is 100% my jam. I have tried other platforms and they just were too much for me to create. And so I use Canva. I love Canva. I'm a Canva girl through and through. I've been using Canva since 2015. I can't imagine using anything else. Now, for video editing, I don't use Canva. I'm a Canva girl, but I don't use Canva to edit my videos, or at least most of them. I will bring in snippets of audio into Canva. Let me show you what I mean. Let's see if I've got an example. Let's see. I'm trying to find. That's the outro scene, but that's not. I know you guys can't see. I'm trying to find it before I put it on the screen. I'm trying to see. I may have trashed it. Let's see. This one says delete later. Let me click restore. Okay. Yep. Here we go. I found it. So one thing that I love to do is I will take snippets of my YouTube videos that I've recorded, right? So like this was a 30 truck going by. This was a 37-second clip that I exported the audio, the MP3 of that clip. And then I upload it into Canva. Wow, where did that accent come from? I upload it into Canva and click upload file, upload the MP4. And then, so I don't know where it would be. I don't think it's that. This one was, I may have actually deleted. I don't see it, but basically I just have a clip. I don't think you can hear it, but let me see if this is, no. It isn't the clip that I thought it was, but basically I just bring down an audio clip like this one. Let me get rid of this. So this one says audio clip. And then it just telling you how to add the effects. You will just have visual reference. So this was it actually. So basically I just add the MP4 or the MP3 of what I'm working on. And then I can create it on top. So like I knew that I needed a lot of visual effects during this segment. So I just downloaded or exported this 29.9 second clip. And I'm not sure if you can hear it or not, but what you won't get with the Design with Font workbook is a voiceover telling you how to add the effects. I tell you what I'm going to do is click share. I'm going to click download and I'm going to download this. It shouldn't take too awfully long, but it might take a little while. And then I'm going to upload it here so that you can watch this. It's kind of like a sneak peek because this video I think is coming out on Monday or something like that. But it's like the end of that video. But yeah, I'm going to let it process and then let's continue to chat for a little bit while we're waiting for that to process. Oh, I do want to get back to this. So Streamyard. So I tried Streamyard. I've tried, even though you haven't seen it, I've tried EVMox. I looked at a couple others. And for me, Streamyard for my brain just seemed to work the best. They have seemed to work the best for how my brain operates in terms of where things are placed. And so that's why I've kept using Streamyard, and I'm using it for free because I don't want to waste any money by having them remove the logo right now while I'm beginning and while I'm learning. So yeah, that's just the way. Oh, it just finished. So what I'm going to do is on the back end, I'm going to go here to my brand clip because I want you guys to see. And I'm going to add that. So now that's processing into StreamYard. It should go pretty quickly. Let's go back to comments. So yeah, I really wanted to give a good shot to everything, but because I have so much issues like learning a new skill, jumping back and forth between streaming platforms proved very difficult. So I decided, let me get to know one very intimately, and then I'll see if I can get to know another one. But I like it. Let's see here. I'm on TikTok and YouTube for this account, but I also have TikTok. Now, I know that you can use StreamYard for a couple different platforms. I think you can only stream in one location for free. Oh, because I'm logged in live, I can't look at StreamYard's website currently. But let me show you what I created for the end, for the outro of, and don't click away because it's not quite over yet, but this is what I created, and I'd exported the audio and put that into Canva. Oh no, I bet it's going to be really, really loud and obnoxious. I realized I forgot to lower the volume. I'm so sorry. And I don't think I can lower it here where I did it in StreamYard, but here it is right now. What you won't get with the Design with Font workbook is a voiceover telling you how to add the effects. you will just have a visual representation. If you want a more in-depth lesson about how to add text effects in Canva, you are going to want to check out this Canva tutorial on your screen right now. If you like today's Canva tutorial and want to see more like it, make sure that you are subscribed, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Yeah, so I downloaded that and then I created the visuals in Canva because that was easier than me downloading a whole bunch of things, tweaking all of the transitions in it. Let me show you what that one looked like. So I just had a video, and in between these two transitions, I did a match and move for this. And on this one, I added text. I added text. And then I did a line wipe transition. I did a slide transition. And this is the match and move transition. I really like this one. On your screen right now, where it moves the featured comment. Ha! I didn't even realize this. I am not a cat. You're actually going to be featured in that video, and you've been on for most of today. That's amazing. So anyway, it moves it. And that transition is called match and move. All right, let me pull me up. I'm going to look at a few more comments, and then I'm going to call it for today. Thank you, all of you, for helping me get back on the saddle. I know I just fell off of it for like 24 hours of feeling like a failure, but I really needed to get back into live streaming today to not think about it all weekend long. All right, let's see. Let's look at some comments, shall we? Restream lets you go wider for less. They give you. So I do need to look at Restream. I've not tried that one. I want to look at it and see if my system can handle it. Let's see here. Do you find making voiceovers? I don't like the sound of my own voice, so too nervous to use them in my own content. I have to tell you a story. I think I might need to sit back for this one. When I was in college, I can't remember what the class was, but we were talking about oh wow, I really can't remember what the class was, but it was, we would talk about pronunciation and how we view our own voices and how other people perceive our voices and things like that. So every day, or the start of class, like our first day, our professor said, if you ever have a word that you aren't sure how it's pronounced, then write it on the board, and I want you to try to stump me. So every day someone would write words on the board, right? And one day I walked in because I'd had an experience with someone and they said a word, and I honestly had no clue what they said. I asked them to repeat it 3 times, and then I finally had a colleague, a coworker, translate for me. And the word that they said, and I'm going to create a banner right now so that you can see what this word is. The word that they had said was this word right here. Now, what they said, coupon. No, they didn't say coupon. No, they did say coupon. Coupon. They might have even said coupon. No, that's what they said. They said coupon. So they kept saying coupon. And I'm like, I don't know. And here it was in a sentence. Nians take coupons? No, that's coupons. I can't even say it the way it's take coupons. Do you take coupons? And I'm like, what the heck is a coupon? I have no idea what a coupon is. And they kept asking, and I kept thinking, what am I missing here? Well, I asked one of my bosses was right there, and she was hearing this interaction, and she says, I can help translate. That's North Carolina mountain speak for coupon. And I'm like, oh, I had no idea at the time that there were different accents in North Carolina that said words differently, like coupon. Now, I say coupon. Sometimes I say coupon. In fact, let's be honest, I say coupon more than I say coupon. But I never say coupon or coupon. Those words are foreign to me. And so I walked in and I wrote this word on the board and asked for the professor to tell me how it was pronounced. Okay? And she says, someone has finally stumped me. I don't know what the actual answer is because I've been here so long that I know what you heard, but I don't know what the actual answer is. We need to look it up. So she looks it up, and we all decide together that there's 4 different ways to say it. You can say coupon or coupon or coupon or coupon. But unless you say coupon or coupon, most of the world isn't going to know what you're talking about. Even those that live in your state. I say it like coupon, but it is very accent dependent. That's why I'm anxious about it. All right. So after this coupon situation, I'm bringing home the bus here. Let me hide that. After this situation, she explains that she has a twin sister. And she had gone to her twin sister's house, and her twin sister was listening to her voicemail. And she had left a voicemail for her twin sister. And when she heard the voicemail, she thought it was her sister and thought that it was so weird that her sister had left her the same message that she had left her earlier. So it's just it's crazy, right? Like the fact that she heard her own voice and thought it was her sister's is just crazy. And so that was the conversation we were having that day, is the difficulty of hearing your own voice when you hear it on voicemail or whatever. Well, at the time I went editing videos. The first video I edited, I thought, oh my gracious, I do not sound like that. That is not what my voice sounds like. And then I remember this professor talking about how we hear ourselves, like when we're speaking, how we hear ourselves through the bones in our head, but other people hear us through the bones in their head. And what we sound like when we're speaking isn't what we actually sound like. And what we hear when we hear ourselves may not even be how other people perceive our voices. So I say all of that to say, don't worry about what you sound like, because as people say, your vibe attracts your tribe. There are people that probably hate the way I sound. I'm not one of them. I don't like the way it sounds when I'm editing, but I bear with it, right? It's just something that I've learned to do time and time again. So let's see here. I'm a superstar. Now, I said that in the voice, and I'm picturing, oh, what was that show? You know, the movie, or I think it's Anna Gasteyer. I'm a superstar. I can't remember what she does, but she smells her. You know, like when I get nervous, that's how I heard it in my head. I'm a superstar. I'm British. I know. And by the way, you have a great accent. Use it. I love hearing it. Now, I'm American. I'm biased. I love it. I love hearing different accents than mine, as long as I can understand it. When people start speaking like Coopin and it's really fast, I really have trouble. I'm learning loads in the live. You didn't even know. I mean, I'm all about Canva, but I can talk other stuff too. I have an American family, but I'm well and truly British. Most of my views are from Japan. That's probably your niche. It's probably your niche. I really truly believe that. All of this about coupon and a couple of sisters is to help you feel better about your voice. Yeah. Whew. All right. I tell you what. I think I'm going to go, because I've been going at this now for 2.5 hours, and I'm really tired. I try my best. Let me see if I can actually read here. I try my best. I'm trying to teach English, so I'm working on enunciation. Oh, I guess I'll tell a quick story about accents and the Southern accent before I say goodbye. But if you would do me a favor, if you have loved this live stream, I want you to hit the like button. Go ahead, tap it. That's going to help me out a whole lot. And the best thing is just be yourself. But the story, what story was I going to tell? Oh, accent. So when I was in college, I was dating this guy. He shall remain nameless. He was a great guy. Our breakup was not mutual. However, we eventually became good friends, and I'm still friends with him now. But this was like spring time of 97, give or take. And his parents, for some reason, got it in their heads that I had a really thick Southern accent, like really thick. And it might be thick, but I'm telling you, it's nowhere near as thick as most of the people, especially most of the people that live in the mountainside of North Carolina. So we came up with this plan that for 24 hours, I was going to really enunciate my Southern accent. And I came in, how y'all doing today? I'm so glad to be here. I think that it is so great that you live in, and you know, they're up in the northern part of the United States, northern east part of the United States. And I just went into it, and they were like, pronounce this. And they're pointing to different things. So like this, what's this? And I'm like, winder. It's a winder. What's this? And they'd point to their front door. That's a door. And I would just like really enunciate my Southern accent. And like, I went on, and it was 24 hours that I spoke like this. I didn't even speak in my regular accent, even when I wasn't with him or when I wasn't with them. Now, the next day we go out, and it's with his parents, his best friend from high school, and her boyfriend, and then a couple other people. And we were in the middle of ordering, and I dropped my very heavy Southern accent to the regular one. And the looks on their faces when I went from exaggerated Southern to just me was priceless. I wish that I could relive that moment over again, because that was spectacular. And I'm still friends with his mom. I love his family. And I think they're great. And I actually went to his wedding. I think that was about 10 or 12 years ago when he got married. And I got to see his family, and it was supposed to be a wedding and then me come home. And they were going to do a very, very small reception with just a handful of people. But after the wedding, his mom says, can Jennifer come to the reception too? We want to catch up with her. And so it was so fun when I spend a lot of time in the South. Where are you? Where are you? Hashtag not a cat. I know where Turley is. All right. Hashtag bless your heart. Yeah. It was fun. All right. So how am I going to end this? Normally I've got this great branded like outro kind of thing. And I I failed to actually put it on. So let me see if I can find something. Oh, look, we're going to do this. I'm going to end it with this. I think that I will be back live on Thursday, maybe Friday. I will decide later, but the next video that you need to watch is one of these, and I will leave a pinned comment for you with my recommendations. Thanks so much for learning with the Canva Classroom. Wow! Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll see you next time. Oh, if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next time. Bye.